As a kid, I hated making mistakes. Incorrect answers on a test brought my grade down. Poorly done chores meant redoing them, and I wasn't getting paid hourly by my parents. Mistakes were costly, and I trained myself to avoid them. But mistake avoidance eventually led to self-resentment. When playing guitar, every little mistake proved I was the worst guitarist on earth, and every bug in the code that I wrote meant I was the worst coder on earth, and lots of little mistakes add up to feeling like a big failure. Well, now I'm almost 40 years old, and I see mistakes as the bedrock of my success, and failures are even more important. So how did I go from being the worst human on earth to being happy and taking pride in my mistakes? Well, it all starts with a song. No, I'm not going to sing or play it for you. And I released a book about how I spent 22 years learning this one song. Now you're probably thinking, maybe he is the worst guitarist on earth. But this song is not ordinary. It's called Fracture. It was written by British guitarist Robert Fripp and performed by the band King Crimson in 1974. It's 11 minutes long and has a 3-minute section played at 10 notes per second, with every note played on a different string. Fracture is like one of those Chinese finger traps. The harder you pull, the stronger the trap. And the only way out is by relaxing and sliding the fingers out. But I didn't know for the longest time that performance was a side effect of effortlessness. Now maybe you're thinking, how can someone spend 22 years on one song? Well, first of all, I did play other songs, okay? Secondly, it's so hard, only a dozen or so people on Earth can play it. And third, Fracture is a self-esteem nightmare for compulsive mistake avoiders. I spent the first 17 years learning by brute force. I could only practice a few minutes before feeling pain in my shoulder and my arm and my back. I didn't know what I didn't know, so I had to go straight to the source. In February 2015, I flew to a small town outside Mexico City to attend a guitar course taught by Robert Fripp. I was nervous about meeting one of my guitar heroes, but more nervous that I never got the address for the course. I did get there safely though, and Robert kicked off the week by saying, "Who here is self-taught?" I raised my hand and he said, "So someone who knew nothing about music or guitar taught you everything you know? Let's change that." It was a strange time in Mexico. We barely touched the guitar for the first 3 days. We mostly learned to sit, stand, and breathe. I began to wonder if I'd joined a cult because we were doing Tai Chi and sitting in extended silence and drinking tea and doing chores. And when we did start playing guitar, my whole body and brain were hurting from all the physical and mental work. The instructors said I was adapting to the changes quickly, but I think I was so far off track, it required painful amounts of correction. Robert says the way we hold the guitar pick is the way we live our lives. I had been holding the pick with 17 years of mindless habits. When he adjusted my picking hand, he was correcting 17 years of stuff to undo in my life. And then he said, when you get home, play a single open string 8 hours a day for a month. I didn't have that kind of time, so I spent about 2 hours a day for 3 months driving myself and my family crazy. But this forced me to relearn how to play guitar and face 17 years of habituated technique problems. It also corrected my posture, it clarified how I approach music, and even changed how I walk. I could finally practice Fracture for hours without pain. I had also gotten a newfound appreciation for mistakes. Mistakes aren't problems, they're opportunities for understanding. In my youth, I didn't see the learning opportunity of mistakes. I was only correcting the mistakes, not my whole self. And the word failure also changed in my mind. No longer did it mean I was the worst, but rather that I had a gold mine of opportunity for improving. Failure became like a check engine light, telling me to slow down and take a look at my life. I cataloged my failure to fracture journey on YouTube, and the series has over 500,000 views. It's hard to believe there are so many people who want to watch me talk about failure, but that's been part of the realization too. A huge number of people want to participate in a story of struggle, even if it takes years and isn't an outright success. Mistakes and failure are a natural part of being human. If I'm not making mistakes or failing, I'm being dishonest with myself or stagnating. Now, for most of us, mistakes and failures aren't life or death issues. They're usually just momentary blows to our pride. Mistakes are a necessary part of learning, growing, and being human. By sharing and investing in my mistakes, I learned to stop worrying and love failure.